What do you make of the Red Bull driver situation right now?
Yeah, it seems a bit chaotic there. I'm personally not very surprised, but yeah, of course, if they seem to like to bring their old friends back, so if one of them wants to reach out, they still know my phone number. I don't know if it's Helmut or I don't know if now Christian has more importance. I don't know who is winning in their power struggle up there. So whoever, yeah, it can get pretty interesting there.
I am genuinely excited about our guest today. Daniil Kvyat is one of the best race drivers in the world. Like many, he started in karting, and after stints in some lower Formula series, he made it to Formula One at only 19 years old. And on his F1 debut, became the youngest point scorer in Formula One at the time. His F1 career spanned over 100 starts in Formula One, and finishing as high as seventh in the Drivers' World Championship, his resume is one of the best on the planet. He's currently racing in the prestigious FIA Formula One, or excuse me, the FIA World Endurance Championship with the Lamborghini Iron Lynx team in the hypercar class. He did a handful of races in 2022, but is returning to NASCAR next weekend to compete in the Xfinity Series at Circuit of the Americas in the number 7 Chevrolet Camaro of SS Greenlight Racing. Daniil Kvyat, welcome to Speed City.
Thank you, John. Very much appreciate it. Thank you for the nice introduction.
You're welcome. Well, the last time I saw you in person, we spent the day together, not far from here in Austin, at the NASA Space Center in Houston back in 2019. Speed City put together a guided tour of NASA that day, and it was not with a tour guide, but with an astronaut, Drew Freistol. That was one of the most fun things I've ever done, spending the day with F1 drivers, astronauts, and cosmonauts. Did you enjoy that day as much as I did?
Yeah, it was a very cool day. I remember that actually pretty well. Yeah, we got to see the whole NASA facilities, all the training facilities where they do the zero gravity training and so on, and to hang around with astronauts and with you as well was very cool. And yeah, it was very interesting experience.
Yeah, and remember we actually stumbled into the Russian cosmonauts in the hallway, and you guys stopped and took photos together.
Yeah. It was very nice experience. They later came to visit my race in Austin, the F1. So it was very interesting and yeah, cool experience.
Well, look, your return to NASCAR sounds like a movie script. A Russian Formula or former F1 driver comes to Texas to race a Camaro in NASCAR. Besides the obvious of racing a Chevy in NASCAR, sounds like a heck of a good time. What is your attraction to NASCAR?
I always was quite passionate about NASCAR. Since you're a kid, there are all these movies about usually Formula One and NASCAR, like Days of Thunder, for example, and then the racing in itself is very interesting. I think it's very particular and very unique. You can't really compare NASCAR to anything else, and I think in my mind it stands somewhere up there with Formula One as an achievement. If you win NASCAR, so I always wanted. It's not easy to change, let's say, the career path because my racing background is not, American, it's more European because I grew up in Italy pretty much for most of my life, and now I tried NASCAR for the first time in 2022. I loved the experience, and yeah, I had an opportunity to come back here with some of my friends from the past here. They helped organize this event, and yeah, I'm gonna race in COTA in Austin, and hopefully it will bring more races in the future again. I really would like to be successful here one day.
Well, that's been pretty successful here at COTA, and this is, I guess, our third year, and I can understand an attraction from a team wanting to get you as a driver, particularly at COTA, particularly on road courses in NASCAR, with all your experience at Circuit of the Americas. And I know that I'm assuming that's why they were attracted to you with all your experience in, in road courses and at COTA.
Yes, I think so. I think it's very important to for me to be racing here in COTA next weekend. Very very great opportunity. So thanks for to SS Greenlight for that, for the trust, um, and to Chevrolet for the car. And it's going to be very cool experience. Yeah, let's see what it brings. Obviously, I haven't done a lot of races in NASCAR, so every race for me is a new learning experience. Even if I raced in COTA already, but it was a Formula One car, which is completely different to NASCAR. But yeah, I'm excited to gather more and more laps, hoping one day to really put together a nice competitive program in NASCAR and hopefully do more and more races.
Well, how did it come about this time around? Did they reach out to you, or did you make it known that you wanted to be racing in NASCAR? How did it come about this time?
Uh, we met with Nathan Glasdell. He reached out to me because we met back in 2022, and he works very closely with SS Green Lights, and he said it would be a great idea to make something together for Austin. And I said, yeah, why not? My schedule with Lamborghini in WEC definitely allowed that. We checked the calendar, and we it was kind of a green light for us to go ahead with it and make it happen. So he worked hard for this deal to come together, and hopefully uh, uh, we get it going in a very nice way for the future as well. And I'm open to do more road courses this year, and actually also ovals. I want to start trying to gather experience on ovals as well to understand what it's like and get competitive there.
Well, it sounds like you're pretty interested in NASCAR. Would you consider a full-time ride in NASCAR, either Xfinity or Cup?
Yes, absolutely. I'm ready to race anything, truck, Xfinity, Cup. I'm very passionate about racing here in NASCAR, and but also I'm having very good time. But also would like to start, to get a shot at winning races, and we of course know that the car and the team resources are important for that as well. And I'm hoping to get opportunities in the future to start fighting for wins. Where I think on road courses, my level will be pretty high soon, and I can already start giving a fight to the top guys.
Well, this weekend you're at Sebring and racing that Lamborghini in the hypercar class. That sounds pretty cool too.
Yes, I'm actually only racing WEC. I'm here to support team and do some media work for Lamborghini since I already was in the USA for my NASCAR commitments. So I'm just here for that really.
Okay.
And yeah, my main championship is WEC, World Endurance Championship here is IMSA.
Yeah. Well, with your F1 experience, I wanted to ask you, about some F1 questions because the F1 driver market is in full silly season already with Lewis Hamilton heading to Ferrari and the dominoes starting to fall. But, there's drivers like Kevin Magnussen and Hulkenberg thought they were out of F1 and now are back and competing well. Would you consider a return to F1 if your phone were to ring?
So, like I said to you, I'm ready to race anywhere, track, Xfinity, Cup, also F1. I know I would be great asset for any F1 team, but F1 can be extremely political as well, and some people are a little bit shy sometimes to talk. But yeah, why not? I think I can see a few scenarios where I might fit in again. Of course, many many stars have to allow me to be back to Formula One. But I know I am a world championship, and if the opportunity comes, definitely gonna grab it.
You know, Daniil, I think many agree your F1 career is one of those that could have been even more successful and lasted even longer. And you've experienced the grinder that is the Red Bull driver machine. As phenomenal as the car's doing on track, at this moment, their driver situation is it's almost in chaos with Max Verstappen talking about leaving the team, Checo's seat seemingly always in danger. Your former teammate Ricardo is at RB now and mentioned for the Red Bull seat. What do you make of the Red Bull driver situation right now?
Yeah, it seems a bit chaotic there. I'm personally not very surprised, but yeah, of course, if they seem to like to bring their old friends back, so if one of them wants to reach out, they still know my phone number. I don't know if it's Helmut or I don't know if now Christian has more importance. I don't know who is winning in their power struggle up there. So whoever, yeah, it can get pretty interesting there, but yeah, it's interesting market as always. It's a shame that what's happening outside the track is a lot more interesting than what's actually happening on the track.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that discussion this year, particularly here in the States with a lot of new fans. And they just maybe they were spoiled a little bit by the incredible seasons of 2021 and there's a lot of fans that don't understand that sometimes it happens in Formula One where we just get some dominant teams because they get the technology right. What would you tell those American fans to about Formula One in that case?
Well, you just said there were some amazing seasons like 2021, and then you stumbled and you couldn't name any other one. Well, I would name 2016 perhaps, but I think the problem is there were promises that the new regulation would deliver a lot closer competition between teams, but it has, I think, failed. And now again, we get one team which is clearly miles ahead of others, and yeah, it makes the show pretty boring, which is a shame. And there is no internal team battle as well, so it's yeah, it makes it a pretty dull show at the moment, which is a shame. But I believe Formula One they know how to react, and I think they will make adjustments.
Hmm. Well, I want to get back to some NASCAR because we had a couple of we reached out to our listeners and told them we were going to get an interview with you. And one of our listeners, Kevin Kelly, wants to know if you got any advice from Jenson Button about NASCAR, because obviously there's been a few others besides yourself from F1 that decided they want to dabble in NASCAR.
I don't know. I think Jensen had one race or two races. I had more, so I can give him an advice if he wants.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so what are your expectations for in this SS Greenlight Camaro for next weekend?
I don't think we're setting ourselves extremely high expectations. We just go there. We try to get the best out of myself and the best out of the car. Of course, the practice is very limited. It's been a couple of years since I drove NASCAR last time, and so yeah, I think I just need to get there, see how it's going, get up to speed, probably do the race in the cleanest way possible. And even though I know that the guys in NASCAR here they race very hard, and yeah, just need to be mindful of that and try to stay out of trouble like last time.
I know you've raced Formula One at COTA several times. What other have you raced any other cars at Circuit of the Americas?
Actually, no, we had some private testing back in December with our Lamborghini hypercar, but it was raining. So yeah, I haven't done the track in much more than F1. So my F1 will be my reference when I get back there, but I need to throw it away because those references will not work with the NASCAR car.
Yeah. Well, and lastly, I want to talk about the World Endurance Championship coming back to Circuit of the Americas in September. We're really excited about that. I know a lot of people are really excited. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's cool that obviously um, WEC is maintaining their relationship with USA, and it makes a lot of sense to come to Austin. It's a great track with a great history already, and yeah, it's going to be very cool. I'm already excited about it.
Mhm. Well, Daniil Kvyat, I appreciate you coming on the show and look forward to seeing you at Circuit of the Americas next weekend.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for your interview. It was a pleasure as always.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you at COTA.
See you, John.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.